Objectification and sexualization of women is very common in advertisements. This can be understood by the concept of male gaze. Laura Mulvey, a film theorist, first mentioned the concept in her 1973 essay, Visual Pleasure in Narrative Cinema. In her essay, Mulvey explains that classical Hollywood cinema empowers only those viewers who can align themselves with the position of the male protagonist. This male gaze projects a fantasy onto the female figure, which is why women are often eroticized on the screen. This idea also applies to advertisements, where a similar pattern of objectification occurs.
Guys, Valentine's Day is not that complicated. Give, and you shall receive. Give, and you shall receive.
Despite the fact that there is no male character in the Teleflora commercial we just saw, it is still representative of the male gaze. The male viewer gets pleasure from viewing the objectified woman and hopes that by buying these flowers he can get a woman like Adriana Lima in bed. This is an example of voyeuristic or fetishistic objectification. In mythologies, Roland Barthes discusses the production of meaning or myth-making in advertisements. Advertisements, like the one we just saw, combine words and/or images to create a new meaning or myth that tries to trick a consumer into believing they need or want the product. Adriana Lima never explicitly says that she will trade flowers for sex, but this is the implied meaning or myth that is conveyed.
Ladies, Valentine's Day is not that complicated. Give, and you shall receive.
Does reversing the gender make the commercial less sexist? No, it is still representative of the male gaze, but the myth that Barthes describes does not change. In the original commercial, the line, "Give and you shall receive," can be interpreted as the male giving flowers to the female in exchange for sex. The implied message, or myth, in our reenactment can be interpreted as the woman must give sex in order to receive the flowers. This is because the narcissistic male viewer identifies with the man on screen. This theory of narcissistic identification can best be explained by French psychoanalyst Jacques Lacan's theory of the mirror stage. The mirror stage takes place in a child between 6 to 18 months old who sees him or herself in the mirror for the first time. Despite this moment of recognition, a disjunction exists between the ideal image the child sees and its inability to control his or her own body. The mirror stage is reactivated when a spectator projectively identifies with a character on the screen. The spectator relives the moment of identification with the ideal image. This identification is crucial to the success of advertising and myth-making.
These concepts are not exclusive to the Teleflora ad and our reenactment. This jewelry ad creates a similar myth to the Teleflora ad. By opening her legs, this woman can get the ring. Like what? Ring is the key to her vagina? This ad is another example of fetishistic objectification. This Tampax ad shames women by portrays periods as unclean. It also promotes a male expectation of sex on Valentine's Day. This is another jewelry ad that equates a woman's body to an object. A male viewer will associate the jewelry from nakshatra with a naked woman. And this one, okay, this is straight up mimicking penetration. No. And this one, suggesting women must use the haircut product to look groomed enough in order to get the penis erected. From Valentine's Day ads alone, we can see the frequent examples of male gaze and sexism. These ads can be targeting towards men or women, but often asserts the idea of women's bodies as commodities that can be purchased with gifts.